Hello, I'm David Harper with the BBC News. The Ukrainian defenders of the Azovstal steelworks in Mariupol say Russian troops are using planes, tanks and warship missiles to pound the sprawling industrial site. They say the Russians are even targeting the structures where hundreds of civilians are still sheltering. Mariupol City Council says it's agreed the evacuation of residents from elsewhere in the city. The UN and Red Cross will oversee the operation, which is due to start on Tuesday morning near the port of Berdyansk. In Washington, a spokesman for the Pentagon, John Kirby, said the situation there was still tense.
I couldn't tell you exactly what the scope of the Ukrainian resistance is still in Mariupol. Again, they're still bombing the city, so I think that certainly is at least one indicator that they believe that the battle for Mariupol has not been won and is not over.
There's also been a new rocket strike on the southern port of Odessa, causing deaths and injuries. The city council said on social media that a missile hit a residential building, killing a 15-year-old boy. Odessa, a largely Russian-speaking city and cultural hub, has seen increased attacks by Moscow in recent weeks. It's well away from the front line of the war in the eastern Donbass region. The Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has accused Moscow of forgetting the lessons of the Second World War after the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said Adolf Hitler had Jewish roots. Mr. Lavrov was replying to a question put to him on Italian television on how Russia could claim to be denazifying Ukraine when Mr. Zelensky was Jewish. In a video address, President Zelensky spoke of his shock.
For
example, Russia's foreign minister openly and without hesitation said that the biggest anti-Semites were allegedly among the Jews themselves and that Hitler allegedly had Jewish blood. How could this be said on the eve of the anniversary of the victory over Nazism? These words mean that Russia's top diplomat is blaming the Jewish people for Nazi crimes. I have no words.
The EU's energy policy chief says Russia's cutting of gas supplies to Poland and Bulgaria has only strengthened the European Union's will to become independent of Russian fossil fuels. Speaking after an emergency summit on Moscow's decision, Kadri Simpson said European countries were focusing on securing gas stores and finding alternative suppliers. She reiterated that the bloc would not pay for gas in rubles, as demanded by Moscow.
We made clear that this is a unilateral change to contracts, unjustified by commercial reasons, and it is perfectly legitimate under commercial law to reject it. We have explained that payments in rubles lead to a clear breach of sanctions, as they provide assets for the operation of the central bank.
World News from the BBC. The governor of the U.S. state of Tennessee, Bill Lee, has halted all executions for the rest of the year after revealing that the state has failed to ensure proper testing of drugs for its lethal injections. The oversight forced him to stop the execution of Oscar Smith, a murder convict, an hour before he was to die last month. 46 men and a woman are currently on death row in Tennessee. Veterans of the Falklands War in Argentina have joined relatives of victims to mark the 40th anniversary of the sinking of the Belgrano Navy ship. 323 crew members died in the attack. More than 1,000 others survived. One of them is Carlos Vicente Servideo.
Today I came here to remember the people who died during the Belgrano sinking. I came to bring my honor, my testimony for all of those who remained at sea and also for my peers who came back. Life has been hard for us, but we have carried on. Today, Argentine society recognizes us. We're very thankful. It took a while, but the recognition came.
The UN chief, Antonio Guterres, has urged the international community to help Niger's military fight jihadist insurgents that have been carrying out frequent attacks. Speaking during a visit to the capital Niamey, he said the violence in the Sahel region had become a global threat. He said Niger could not face the challenge alone, adding that equipment and training were needed. Last month, MPs in Niger voted in favour of allowing the deployment of more foreign forces to fight the jihadists. Europe's football governing body has announced that Russian national teams and clubs will be banned from taking part in the Champions League, the Euros and other competitions next season. The Russian bid to host either the 2028 or 2032 Euro competition, gathering the continent's top national teams, has now been ruled ineligible. That's the latest BBC News.